Let me get this.
You do the intro.
Me do the intro.
Yeah, I did the intro last time. We're gonna throw it on you this time.
How you doing, dog?
What's up, yo?
Straight chilling. What's up, guys? Back with Tale of Two Lions. It's Crawdad, Ryan, and we got Chop in the building, even though we in his building. Yeah, man. I mean, we're back again. Second podcast. First one actually seemed kind of straight. I was happy with it.
I was happy with it too, but it's like certain things I can nitpick and say. Like, it's just with comfortability, and it's gonna come with time. Like, the more podcasts we do, the more comfortability we're gonna get on camera. So
yeah,
we gonna be able to just show y'all our true selves.
Yeah, man. I think honestly for this one we're more organized. Mm-hmm. We've kind of like brainstormed a little bit more, got more ideas.
Yeah, I've literally done a lot of thinking. Cause okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys that you already know.
Yeah.
My boy was working last Thursday, so we just rescheduled to this Thursday. So I did some reactions, y'all. Some of y'all seen most of them, I guess. Go back and like them. Listen, I also gotta say this before the video start, before we even started everything. Make sure you drop comments, chat. We need comments in the chat. That's what gives us more like analytics and stuff like that. So,
more exposure.
Without further ado, let's get straight to the point. And I want to ask my boy, how was his week?
It's been a week. Went back to school this week. So I've been waking up at 5 a.m. every day, man.
Okay, tell them what kind of school, because they're going to think you're in like high school or something.
No. I'm in college. I've got my AA, but I'm going to school right now to get my AMP so that I am certified to work on airplanes. I kind of already do it, but I'm in training. Okay. So I'm kind of just getting my licenses so that I can do stuff by myself and not have to be watched by other mechanics. It's a long process. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of rules that I got to learn. The class I just started right now. My professor's kind of whack. I'm not used to it. It's going to take some getting used to, but you know, that's all a process of college. Once you get there, you kind of understand that these professors are different. Each one is different. Yeah. Every time you go into a new class, you're learning a new way to learn and take notes and do all these things because professor doesn't care how you did it before. They're going to teach you the way that they want to teach you, you know. It's how they are.
For sure.
You can't change that. But other than that, I mean, I've been working, school, sleeping.
Okay.
That's about it, man. I mean, just on the grind right now.
For sure. That's really what I've been on, the same thing, man. Like, trying to get these hours in and fun stuff for us to do here. And I guess that's all it is, man. Yeah. Just trying to get it good for them so they can have better content. I do a lot of research for them. I try to like get into these topics and know what I'm talking about without just giving out
false information
or useless information that's not necessary. Even though like some knowledge that people think is not necessary is necessary.
Yeah, because some people it is, because everyone's in a different situation. You know, some people use that at different times.
Yeah. So like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all an example. For this job that I'm going for right now, I used to think like as a kid, and I never learned commas, punctuation. Really,
I hate grammar.
All I used was grammar.
Yeah.
I never learned those things. Like I never cared to, because it's like, okay, I'm not gonna really use it, so why even learn it? So a couple months back, I had to take some tests, and it all had to do with grammar, punctuation. I'm like, bro, I don't know this. Like, you know what I mean? So I had to go back and do a crash course and learn all of that stuff within like the span of a day or two. And I ended up passing and everything, but it was just a difficult process for sure.
It's hard to remember some of this stuff because, you know, we text our stuff all the time nowadays. Yeah. And who uses proper grammar when they're texting? Nobody that I know has ever used it, you know? Yeah. Maybe like my grandma. All right. But that's because
she's not texting,
that's because she's like an English teacher, dog. Yeah, and exactly. She's not texting, bro. She'll text me on my birthday. And it's literally proper grammar. And I'm just like, well, I expect that from my grandma now, you know?
Yeah.
But I respond back. I don't use proper grammar. I bet you it irks her in the wrong way sometimes, but
sure.
you know.
I know some people like that.
We forget it because we just live life.
So you wanna get into some topics,
bro? Yeah, let's get into that. What is it, Conneticut?
Oh, okay. That's been my like main thing I wanted to talk about. That and another one, but okay. So you guys may not know, but there's a place in Connecticut, Dudley, Connecticut. It's in the Black Forest or the Dark Forest.
I think you put Dark Forest.
Yeah. So in the early 1700s to the late 1800s, there was a town there. And it was known to be like kind of cursed. They thought it was like very cursed because there were multiple families that like their whole lineage died. Mm-hmm. Like even if they moved out of it because they thought it was cursed, they end up dying.
Yeah.
And
like the curse followed them type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So it took some like years later, like it was early 1900s, this husband and wife. Well, it was a husband. He went on a walk in the woods, and he discovered it. It was ghost town, but it looked beautiful to him. So he was like, "Okay, let me build a house here."
Yeah.
So one day he has to go back to New York because he's living there with his wife in that house, and he comes back and he's like, he hears a lot of like animals like going crazy, like everything, just weird sounds. And then he goes upstairs, and in his house, his wife is like just literally laughing hysterically, like going insane. Like she's seeing things. And later on, he finds out that about the curse, about all this stuff, because nobody wanted to help him build the house.
How do you find, like, he found out from other people in the town or something nearby?
Originally, when he was going to build the house, he was trying to like have people help him, okay, but no contractor would help him. Mm-hmm. Like they was like, nah, this ain't me. I'm good. I'm out. Like, no matter how much money he offered him. So it came to a point where he just did it by himself, and later on he figured out it drove his wife insane. Mm-hmm. I think he ended up dying. She ended up committing like unaliving herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was just a whole strange scenario, and never go there. Like literally never go there. When I heard the story, they literally had a thing saying do not go here ever. I don't care what you think, because there's actual like ghosts and figures that will, people go there now and they report having like people like figures slap them and rub their face and touch them, and a lot of people go insane too because they see things. It's a lot, bro. But do you believe in ghosts?
All right, so I want to believe in ghosts, okay, but I also want a personal experience to believe in ghosts. I've had friends there was one friend I had, my boy Adrian, giant dude. He's an awesome dude. But he would talk about this room that he had in his house that was haunted. And so I remember I turned off the lights and I went and sat in there for like an hour.
Okay.
Just hung out.
You're crazy.
I wanted something to happen, bro. I was like, I want to believe in ghosts. I want some crazy shit to happen. But nothing ever happened.
Oh. Okay.
It's not like I disbelieve. Like, I just haven't seen anything to prove it to me. So I'm kind of in the middle of like, I don't really believe them, but I also don't say that they're not real.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? Something along the paranormal. Oh man. Oh, okay. So you were talking about how they were like, don't go into that forest and all that kind of stuff. I would. I would, just because I may get cursed or something, but I wanted to experience something like that.
I've had experiences with ghosts.
Really?
Yes, firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get to this.
I was about to say, go ahead and
say
what you're saying,
because I honestly before I didn't believe in any of this stuff, and then I remember when
the supernatural.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to like far extents.
Okay.
I used to work at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And there's these, I can't remember what nationality they were, but they started talking about like voodoo.
Haitian.
Yeah, most likely. Haitian. Really?
Yeah.
Does she know about anything?
She knows. She's from Haiti. She knows about it.
Dude, voodoo is some scary stuff, bro.
It's real.
I haven't seen it firsthand, but the stories they would tell me made me believe it.
Oh, for sure.
The way they reacted to the things, I was like, that's kind of wild. Like I don't want to go near any of that because it hits some scary stuff.
When I went to Palm Beach State, dang, I just put that out on the internet. But no, when I was in school in college or whatever, it was a group of people and they're all Haitian. Like mainly that population on campus is all Haitian and Jamaican and all that.
Yeah.
And they know heavily about it. And some people, like I had a friend, his dad was a voodoo priest. And he hears voodoo and he runs. Like he literally runs away because he doesn't want to talk about it. He's really scared. He's seen it firsthand. They say there's a way you can like go on somebody's roof while they're sleeping and drain their blood out their body and stuff like that. Like crazy stories.
Yeah. Oh my, bro.
But I'm gonna tell you my ghost experience.
Oh
right?
yeah. Back to the ghost.
Bro, I used to work at a hospital, and I used to deliver the food trays to the patients. And I used to stay after at night, and sometimes they'll leave me in there by myself. This is a big open area with like freezers, deep freezers, the chef's area, and then you have the washing area where you wash all the plates and stuff. And at dinner time, I would like be back there washing the dinner trays or whatever. Bro, tell me how I see like figures out the side of my eye. You can I don't believe it's not possible that you can see a ghost head on, but they say mostly if you see a ghost, it's gonna be out the side of your eye. Yeah. Because it's not your main vision and it's not
out your peripheral.
There. It's there. It's out your peripheral and it's like less, it's more ominous, basically. And I seen so many, bro. Like, and I also seen like dead people. It was crazy, bro. Yeah. Like I delivered food trays to dead people. Cause like
you walk in the room and they're just no longer alive.
Yeah, and you don't know they're dead, but like eventually you just see the crash cart coming in and like they're trying to revive them, but
and you're just like, let me take this soup back out of here.
Nah, I just leave that bit. But so I just think you should just stay away from anything of that nature because those. It's actually real. Yeah, I think it's actually real. I try to stay away.
You think it comes from like an energy that people put off?
I believe
like
and
from
you know
rituals
that's crazy.
And stuff?
That's crazy. You said that. You said energy. Okay, and that brings me to the topic that I was also researching, but I wasn't gonna talk about it. You ever heard of the evil eye?
I've heard of it. Like my girlfriend's talked about it, but I don't know much about it.
I know to a certain extent how much it is, right? So let's say hypothetically everything in life is going good for me, right? And I tell somebody and they give me like a little
like they're jealous?
Yeah, like they're jealous and they give me like a little like stare or something. They say in past times that they believe that would literally put a negative light on your whole everything you got going good for yourself. It just affects
That's kind of what the evil eye is?
Yes. Okay. In some sense. Like, that's just a small amount of it. Because they had, like, so many rituals you're supposed to do. Like, they was like, oh, you never let a guy into your house and look at a kid while they're sleeping. All kind of weird stuff, bro. Like, you can give yourself the evil eye. That's how it is.
Really?
Like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you wince at yourself and you just put negative connotations on your life, bro. Bro, I've been doing a lot of research. Yeah. Like, I tell you no lie. I'm going to send you some of the videos, but I just sit there and just watch YouTube videos all day about different things in life.
Energy's a big thing, bro.
You believe in...
I believe in that people put out certain energies and, like, I don't know if it really affects you, but you can feel it. You can sense when somebody's off. Like... just talking to them, looking at them, you can tell something's wrong. Okay. Like, I was sitting at the kava bar the other day, and this dude came in, and the second he went to go order, like, the first 2 words he said, I was like, damn, he's had a rough day. Okay. Like, some stuff's going on. And I wasn't the only person that noticed. Even the kava tender noticed. I was asking him about it. Like, it's just things like that. You walk in, and people can feel your presence.
That's crazy you say that, too, because, listen... It's and so many people in my life, I be around them, and they'll try to introduce me to people, and the moment that I get introduced to them, I say no. Like I tell them like nah, not my like do not be friends with them too much longer.
Yeah.
They'll mess you over. I've done that to my girlfriend at least like 2-3 times, and every time it's turned out to be like person that's not really good for them and ended up messing them over. I've done it to my brother. I met his girlfriend one time, and the first day I met her, I was like, she's a 304. Break up a year later because she's on some weird 304.
A 304?
It's like Miami area code, but it's because it's a Miami girl kind of like. But it's not like she's actually a Miami girl. It's just like she's a.
Yeah, I know what she's
going on.
Yeah.
So later on, he figured out like she wasn't really for him, and the crazy thing is, I called it from the get go. It's just like a lot of strange thing. But what was I getting on? I don't
know, but I'm ready to go on to something else because of what you just said.
Oh, okay. My bad. Listen, I'm going to go into something and it's going to lead you to what you were talking about, right? So, I forgot the name of it, but there's a civilization, or they speak of a civilization of non-humans that live among us that are waiting for a certain point in time to like turn on us.
Are you talking about the people that live in the hole inside the earth?
No. I'm talking about like they're actually like they look like humans. They portray themselves as humans, but they're not actual humans. Like one of us could be not
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they just exist.
Like they know they're
like
not
they're
humans?
aliens.
Yeah, they're aliens, but they know they're not human.
Yes. They know they're part
and
of
they're just waiting for the right time.
They're just waiting for that call and just like,
bro. So I honestly think we could find out at some point, cause like think of where we are as a civilization, how advanced we are.
Okay.
Like we're going out into space. We're doing some wild things. We're trying to get to Mars, but we're also trying to leave this planet. Think of like all the just the technological advances we have.
Do you think we'll be able to touch Mars?
Oh yeah, we've sent rovers to Mars. We've put things on Mars.
Isn't it hot?
No, it's freezing cold.
Oh, okay.
It's like negative 400 degrees. I'm gonna say Fahrenheit, but it's probably Celsius, because it's just scientific ways. Celsius is the way, but actually it's more like Kelvin. But I won't. Get that deep.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. We're getting that.
Kelvin is how you get to absolute zero.
You want to hear?
You know what absolute zero is?
Yeah. I think I know what it is because I actually did some research on planets too, but it was telling me about all the strange planets in the world. But go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna get back to Mars and like where we are as a civilization. Like, if they all right, so you're talking about aliens. If they're watching us, they're definitely watching us right now because we're at a turning point of the civilization to like. Where we're trying to leave the planet now. We're trying to get people off and see where we can go. Like interplanetary travel. It's pretty wild. They're watching us now. Cause
think about it. How do you think we get new inventions that are like so far beyond, like bro, that are so far beyond our spectrum of thought? Like,
are you thinking that aliens help us with that? Because I don't believe that.
I believe they give us a certain amount, but they don't give us too much.
I think if aliens had any play in the human like advancement, it was in the very beginning, and it's to help us. They just kind of pushed the rock on the edge of the hill, and we've been rolling it ourselves the rest of the way.
That's a possibility as well.
I don't think they're trying to interfere anymore. They just want to see how we're doing it. Because let's say in the next 1,000 years, we're aliens to another planet.
Okay.
We see some species that looks like they're pretty advanced, like they're learning like quite a bit, and we've gone in and we've done some research. We
would send spies in first.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We would do some research and figure out what they're about, and then maybe we'll be like, here's a hammer, hit it against this rock and make a knife or something. I don't know. Okay. You know?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, wow, cool, you know, start doing their own thing with it. And then kind of spark the creativity in their brain, the conscious part of a human, you know?
And like, I get what you're saying, because like later on down the line, they'll come up with a sword. You know what I mean?
They're going to start thinking, oh, dang, okay. It's going to make them think and try and plan things out. Okay. If you think about other animals that live on Earth, do you think they plan things out? Or you think they live things day by day surviving?
I think they live their day by day surviving, but they have to do that because they're in the wild and they have no protection. Humans have that protection that animals don't.
Yeah, but we've built it for ourselves. We've made ourselves tools to do things like that.
That is true.
We've set ourselves up to where we can be like, you know what? This gun right here is going to take out that tiger that's trying to eat me. Or this spear that I have is going to kill the woolly mammoth that fed Neanderthals way back in the day.
That also shows my thing where I don't think animals have a soul. Because think about it. If they had a soul, they would be able to understand way better when it comes to other outside entities. Like, we can understand outside entities like other animals of every species. We know not to touch the lion. We know not to go by the lions that are in the wild because
it's an instinct.
Exactly. But I think consciousness,
spirituality,
all of that is wrapped up into one, which they don't have.
Well, how can you be spiritual if you have to sit there and focus on surviving all the time?
That is true. That's true.
I think we didn't really come up with spirituality until we became comfortable with...
But you got dogs. They don't have to worry about... they got comfortability. They're not
and
spiritual.
they build a relationship with you, but like it's not like we can talk... Like, we can say commands to our dogs and they understand, okay, this is what they mean when I hear this word.
Exactly.
So that tells you they're thinking in their head.
Repetitiveness.
They're thinking
They can pick up repetitiveness.
Yeah, at times they're like, oh, you know what? The sun's going down. That means it's dinner time. It's right around like 6 o'clock for us. They don't understand time, but they understand like signs and signals.
Yeah, and that draws us. Did you have another topic you wanted to talk about?
We were going on about aliens.
Okay, so
I felt like we were going to go more in depth on aliens
because
you were talking about getting to Mars, and so now I'm going to walk us backwards. We're all the way at aliens. When we get to Mars, do you think there's aliens on Mars?
I was just about to say, my question before I answer that is, so they're not being aliens in existence is off the table.
Oh, there's definitely aliens.
So I feel like that it's off the table at this point. There's no not believing in them, because I think the people that do not believe in aliens are in denial, and they just fear the unknown. So they just rather it be unknown to them than to actually put that in their mind where they're like, okay, aliens exist. I want to fear something. They just don't want to fear anything.
I could see that. But I could also see that they just don't understand how big the universe is. It's too big for any of us to actually comprehend. But for some people, I feel like they're just like, I don't actually see how big it is. There's billions of stars in our galaxy alone.
Yeah.
And then there's billions of galaxies in the universe.
Exactly. And then there's billions of universes probably as well.
Within those universes, like they talk about black holes. Black holes are really confusing. I don't even understand them, but they talk about them being a wormhole. I see it as such a big mass that it's just crushing everything down. It sucks in light, Okay. It's invisible. I don't think it's a wormhole. I think it's just a mass that's literally just crushing everything down.
Fun fact real quick. We was talking about planets and we was talking about Mars, but there's a planet that rains glass.
There's I've heard that Jupiter rains diamonds.
That's
because
crazy.
Of the pressure.
And literally the wind be like 4,000 miles per hour.
Jupiter the same. Are we talking about the same planet? Are we talking about
Jupiter? It's not Jupiter. What I'm talking about is not Jupiter.
Jupiter
it's not one
has
of the
like supermassive storms. Saturn has supermassive storms. Their winds are moving at like thousands of miles an hour.
Yeah. The world in itself is just so... That's why I say you can't not believe in a higher power, bro. Like I'm not saying that people have to, but like have some kind of belief system, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't think... You believe in anything?
I consider myself agnostic. I
was just about to say, you can't be agnostic in this world, and this man says he's agnostic.
Okay, well look, you can be agnostic because if you think about it, most religions are the same.
It's true, but listen.
So which one is correct?
The thing is, they all have a vagueness about them that literally come and centered around one specific belief. But my thing is, there's too much that science cannot prove and science cannot understand for someone not to have any belief system in anything. Because you just said it yourself.
Agnostic.
You believe... No, but listen.
I believe there is a God, but I don't believe I know that God.
Okay, that makes sense. Because my thing is... You just said you believe in voodoo. You believe in spirituality. All of that is based off something. The power comes from something. You can't just have a power in the atmosphere and be like, oh, a human created it or this. If that human created that, he's an alien. Like, I don't know.
Maybe that's where it comes from.
What, aliens?
Yeah.
But who created aliens?
We'd have to know the alien first to even try and think of that answer.
True. We'd have
to confirm the aliens or like for real to even think like. We'd have to understand that, and I don't think that's possible.
Another thing too. Like, it kind of brings me back to a paradox that I was told before. It's like, what came first, the egg or the chicken? You know what I mean? You will never know, because what if an animal randomly had an egg and it became a chicken, and that's evolution? That's the evolution of a chicken, and then the egg came first, or the animal itself. It's just, the chicken itself came first.
Like dinosaurs or birds. People make that connection.
You believe in the Big Bang Theory?
I haven't really thought on that before, because I always grew up and I was like, Christianity,
Yeah.
It's like God created everything. And the way I always saw it was more like when God snapped his fingers, there's a Big Bang.
Okay.
And that's the Big Bang, It's like the way science describes it, how I believed it as a kid, is that when God put it into work, the way it happened is the way our science understands it. So when he snapped his fingers, it happened instantly, but those molecules that created the Big Bang happened because he snapped his fingers. It was just the timing of everything. God is omnipotent, omnipresent. He knows everything. He's
the
everywhere.
idea of God is.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to get too spiritual on here, guys, but see, my thing is I'm a Christian, but I mix Christianity with spirituality.
Okay.
So, like, I believe that we are our own gods. We don't have to read a book to necessarily. I think the thing about the Bible is it's been tempered.
Yeah.
I was actually
been touched and interpreted by man.
Yeah. Remember I was telling you I worked 14 hours? So during that 14 hours, I was just listening to Revelation. I was listening to the Bible. And it was just speaking of like a bunch of different things. And I was like, you know what? If it spoke on if someone tampers the Bible, they'll end up dead or something like that. And it was just like, I'm listening. I'm like, okay, so I feel like it's just the outline on how you should react to certain situations. Maybe you can take it and do it your own interpretation. Like everybody who reads one line of words, like a sentence or something,
interprets it differently.
Interprets it completely different. So it all falls down into interpretation.
The Bible is very open to interpretation.
Exactly. And I can't tell you that you're wrong. Yeah. But go ahead.
The way I see Christianity, at least in recent times, is that the Bible the basis of it is to love on people.
Okay.
To bring good and positive energy upon people.
For sure.
Like, care about others. Try and help each other,
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see Christianity. But the Bible is very open to interpretation. And Revelations talks about end times.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like I don't think we're in end times.
Not yet necessarily.
Like, things are crazy, but it's just, I think we're in a turning point of our civilization.
I don't want to get too in depth into
this.
I don't want to get too into.
We was planning on talking about Mars and
we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to the whole religion thing another time. We'll probably do a whole.
We're gonna start writing down things about that because I think we need to organize that.
Because what if? Okay, Jesus, right? What if Jesus was an alien? The Jesus that they speak of, what if he was an alien?
What if he's an alien?
There's actual things that's on the internet that says Jesus was a magician. Like, you know what I mean? And it sounds crazy. But if you do your research on it, it all lines up. A lot of things they try to do, they try to like corrupt what the word says and all kind of stuff like that. It's a gray area, and I don't want to touch too much on it because I don't want to take if there's a consequence behind it, I don't want to take that consequence, if that makes sense. But I do want to say, believe what you believe strongly. Stand on your principles. Listen, you don't have to believe in anything, but I would advise you guys to believe in something. That's my opinion on it.
Even if that includes believing in yourself.
For sure. Yeah. Like literally, I think we are our own guys in life. So whatever and wherever that takes us, whether it be good or bad, it's just going to make us better in the end.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel. I've never been a peaceful or a positive person in my past, but I'm trying to become it in my older age. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm not as old as like I feel or I seem when I speak certain time, but like I'm only 25 this year, right?
Yeah.
How old are you this year?
I'll be 24 this year.
So like we're younger, but I feel like we're thinking
ahead.
We're way ahead a lot of people at our age, like, and I don't want to just give myself that title. It's been given to me from so many people. Mm-hmm. I don't think like a 20-year-old anymore. I think like I'm 35. Like I try to move in a higher aspect of
and we're not living. Always like that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We go out and we have fun. We're still young. We enjoy our times, but consciously we're thinking about our future.
Yeah,
and trying to better ourselves before we're even at this point in life. We're trying to make sure we're prepared to be at that point in life, I guess.
You know what else I wanted to do? I want to give those people, the people who watch, mm-hmm. a blueprint of like a list of what they can do in their 20s or 18 to like whatever,
kind of
to
like a motivation
to like push them further along in life, because we've made mistakes. We put ourselves in certain debts that we don't need. Mm-hmm. But we can tell them like, don't do this, do this, do this. It's not necessarily 100%.
It's not for everybody, because you know some people live differently. But
yeah, and it's not 100% proof. But like, if you can do these steps in certain aspects,
help you in the future.
It might be able to help you. Like, okay, here's my breakdown, and you can go after me. But like, my thing would be, they get a job, like starting out 17 to like 18.
Yeah, most jobs, minimum wage is like $15 an hour now.
15. That's another thing I was gonna say. Target pays 15. We both did Target. And that's just like your like start somewhere $15 or more. If you can't find 15,
start somewhere.
You start somewhere. 13. So you start out there. You save up. If you have no bills, that's perfect.
If you're living at home, you're still in high school, you have no bills. I mean, you may have a car that you got to pay gas insurance for. Save whatever else you can, you know.
If you have a car, that's what my second thing was going to be. Save up for the car first. If you have a car already, DoorDash, you can literally look up the blueprint of DoorDashing. I'm not going to give it specifically piece by piece, but like you can eventually like make like $3,000 a month or more. If you're a hard worker, you can do that. Get a good car, good mileage, all that. You can make $3,000 a month. You can eventually think about saving up to get you a better car, a house, all kind of stuff like that. But what would you say in your walk of life? What would be good in your circumstance? Like, how would you go by it?
Nicotine, stay away from it.
Stay away from it. Like literally.
I hate it. I'm addicted to it. I hate it. I wish I wasn't, but you know, it's hard to stop. And I actually have a plan to try and stop, starting next month. Okay. But stay away from it. Someone offers it to you. You're better off not hitting it. Nah. Stay away from it, dog.
But no, listen. So I kind of like keep quitting and like whatever. But like, if he brings it around, I'll be like, let me hit it. Yeah. Let me hit it.
And it's just like you gotta stay strong, dog. You gotta stay strong. No, why not quit?
I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna keep like.
Yeah. So what's the point of taking the hit now?
Because without it here, I'm not gonna hit it. But let me just hit it.
So don't hit it now. Save it for later.
Nah. Let me hit it.
You see the fiend? See the fiend?
No, listen. It's either you let me hit it now, or I go buy me another one later. See, that's the thing. You saving me for later.
Or you just tell yourself no. And then later on you'll be like, dang, I'm really trying to work and save money and not do all these things. And you're going to be like, it's not really worth the $10-15 that it is.
You're right. I ain't gonna lie. Let's get into another topic. So,
but life weighs money. Yeah, save as much as you can, because you never know. You never know when you might need it. And if you don't end up needing it, maybe you want to invest into some things. Maybe you want to do something with your future, like this camera that we're filming on. I figured out I was good with photography on my phone back in on an iPhone 6. I realized I was like, dang, I can take some pretty good pictures. Let me look into this. And I looked into cameras, and I've learned a lot. It's been a hobby for me. I've enjoyed it. This camera wasn't cheap, but I saved up for it, and I'm glad I did. I still use it to this day, and it's getting quite old, but it still looks pretty fresh. My pictures come out well. I should start a business taking pictures, but I'm too busy. I got to get on that. I made a bet with Gavin.
Yeah.
He said 6 months. This is back in January. He said in 6 months, if I didn't have a website up for it, I owe him $100.
Okay.
But if I had the website up, he'd give me $100. So I gotta make a website.
For sure, you gotta do what you gotta do to get that money.
But I mean, I have been taking photos. Look up Crawdad Photography. Crawdad Photography on Instagram. That'd be me. I'll be posting some photos on there. I'm gonna make sure that that's the right one. Yeah, Crawdad Photography on Instagram. Just simple. I just post photos that I take, and I find they're cool. I've been trying to get into portraits.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
Everybody go follow him on that.
Yeah, if you like just checking out some cool photos every once in a while. I mean, I try and post once a month, but I've been busy the past couple months. Okay. Other things I'm trying to get back to, other things to be smart about, just while you're young. If school's not for you,
find another way. Find another route.
Find something you enjoy. I mean, trade school's even good sometimes, because you get a lot of hand-on experience. You learn what you're interested in, rather than having to go through 2 years of college to get your AA, just learning high school shit all over again. That's not fun. I hated it.
Another thing too is you can't be lazy. You got to go out and get it.
You
got to wake up.
If you want to be successful, you can't be lazy. And laziness isn't a disease. It's more of a decision. You decide to be lazy. Yeah. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh man, I'm tired. Let me lay down for another hour, or scroll on your phone for an hour. No, you can get up and do something else. I struggle with that. I'll wake up and be like, dang man, I want to just lay in this bed. I should go to the gym. I should get up, go to the gym, or get up and just do something. Once you're up, you got that momentum going. Sometimes it may be hard, especially if you work late nights or you're up late. Sleep schedules are really hard to fix. If you still have a good one, if you still have a good sleep schedule, try and keep it good. Once you start staying up late, once you get into that habit, it's hard to break again, because you can't catch up on sleep, man. No matter how hard you try. If you're up for 24 hours, you'll never get those hours of sleep back that you missed out on. But, bro, back to Mars, all right?
Yeah.
Back to Mars. Why are we trying to go to Mars? Do you think it's a good reason that we're trying to go to Mars, or do you think we should actually stay here?
I think we should stay where we are, but we should figure out or keep trying to go to another planet. Keep trying and testing out different things to see if it's inhabitable. Mm-hmm. And once we figure out that or can make it inhabitable, then we start building there and have it for our future, just in case something were to go wrong here. It's just like a a backup.
Yeah.
Keep it as a backup.
I say we do try and go to other planets and learn more. Science aspect of it, we just try and learn more. But I don't think we abandon this planet. There's no reason to leave this planet. Yeah. It was set up for us.
For sure.
Our bodies are adapted to it.
Yeah.
We evolved, or we were created for this planet.
We have to create a whole new system. It's like bro, if we were to leave here and go to another planet, it'd be like starting over at like the 1700s or 1500s or
even further back.
Yeah, like further back, but I didn't like the 900s. Like know, like I don't know.
We would have knowledge, but we would have to learn all over again how to use this knowledge on a different planet.
Imagine
with different
no
resources.
Cars, no cell phone towers,
no air.
No. We would definitely have to breathe somehow.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you can't just walk outside.
Oh, yeah,
like we can right now. Like, you can't open the door to your house and be like, fresh air. You're gonna be like, open the door from your house into the dome of oxygen that you've been entrapped in.
True, it would be very confined, but I think it's a good thing to keep it as a back door.
I think global warming here is a big problem here.
Yeah.
But to fix that, we would all have to unite as a world. Because just everything we run off of, like cars are one thing, they add a lot of CO2. Planes are one thing, they add a lot of CO2.
You're talking about like the stuff that we do in our everyday life, like our carbon footprint is leaving a very bad thing for our ozone and like making the world not inhabitable anymore. That's a true fact.
But we would have to unite as like one world rather than nations separated. And I think that's our first hurdle is trying to connect as everyone is on the same page. Everyone's trying to do the same thing because
you're saying the whole world become a democracy?
Not a democracy necessarily. Like we can all still have our own nations and laws and stuff, but our governments would have to come to an agreement on things. Like we would have to
work together.
Yeah, because it's the world. It's not just one place in the world.
I still don't think the world would live accordingly because you gotta think
we all have disagreements.
We live the way that we've lived so long, and there's so many people older and stuck in their ways. They're gonna put a negative impact on the world regardless. Because like let's say I drive 1,000 miles a week, which I used to when I DoorDash.
Yeah.
But like, you can't tell me, I'm doing something wrong. At the end of the day, I'm driving 1,000 miles, but I'm making
money for yourself, your family.
That, and also I'm actually negating somebody else doing their own shopping. So therefore, am I really wrong, or am I actually saving the earth a little bit more? Like, you know what I mean? Because like, if I didn't go get the food, they would go get in their own car.
Yeah, they would go do the driving.
So is it bad or is it good? That'll be a paradox. It'd be
more like a neutral thing, you know?
Yeah. So it average out, I guess.
Yeah. So you were talking about you don't think the world would unite government-wise.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. No.
Let's say
not government-wise. I'm talking about like people in general. Like people in the United States are greedy.
Yeah.
So I don't see them giving up what their
comfortability.
Yeah, what they expect. So like we have the freedom to do what we want. Not in a sense. In a sense, we have the freedom to
There's laws
eat what we
stuff,
want. To
but
buy
you
what
can
we
decide
want.
if you want to break those laws. You know.
Exactly. No, but I'm saying like, okay, there's no limit on what I can and can't buy. There's no limit on what I can and can't use. If I want to go out and throw 1,000 bottles in the river, it's laws against it, but I can do it.
Yeah.
But it's still negatively impacting the earth. So I think we should explore other planets and see if it's livable. I think we found it already, bro. Right now, they just wasting our time by wasting our brain space to think, Mars might be explorable. Man, there's a Mars 2.0 that they already got building up. Probably like for the rich or the people who are like upper class and stuff like that.
Well, they'd have to build it up. You're not going to send the rich people to Mars and expect them to go back to the 1800s.
What if they already have people over there is what I'm saying.
I doubt they do.
how will we know? We don't. There's so much stuff we don't know, but we don't even know certain parts of. Is it Antarctica? We can't even be over there. Like it's just like.
Yeah.
The world is so.
The government keeps a lot of secrets.
That yes, it's very. On a need to know basis, and we don't need to know nothing in their eyes. So, yeah.
I think we would know if there's people on Mars because governments would disagree. Like, so what I was gonna get to is, for us to save the planet, all the governments would have to kind of unite in a way to decide the best way to deal with the situation. If we get to Mars, how are we gonna deal with territory? Let's say Elon does get to Mars. Is he gonna connect it with the United States, or is he gonna try and form his own nation?
Oh, another nation for sure.
For himself?
Yeah, for sure. That would be his. You gotta think, bro. He'll become a
what
dictator.
Happens whenever NASA takes their stuff and is like, oh, you're not gonna include us in the Mars stuff, and NASA goes there and they're like, all right, well, you can have that half of the planet. We're gonna have this half.
He's gonna be a dictator, and he's gonna be a very you can tell he's a billionaire. He's gonna be very entitled. He's gonna think the whole planet is his. He's gonna try to own it. You gotta think, bro. Okay, let's say you have a sibling, right? And they get a new toy.
Yeah,
but you're the oldest sibling, so you're like, that's my toy, and that's just mine. Like whatever. That's literally what he's thinking of as this is his planet. His planet.
I don't think he's going to think that way because a whole planet to yourself, that's a lot. I think what he would do is he would be like, NASA, you want to come to the Mars and do research and stuff? Okay. Well, you have to give me money for it. Or you have to give me a certain percentage of all these resources that you find. That way I can take them, and when you find out what you can do with them, hey, maybe I can build some car that floats without any propulsion, some weird gravity shit.
How far is Mars from here?
I want to say it's double the distance that we are from the sun, because I heard it's like we're like 7 or 8 minutes away from the sun.
I'm saying
and Mars is like 12 or 8 minutes.
Do you know the planets all 7?
All 7?
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know them in a row?
In the order, it's Venus and Mercury are the first two. I don't know which order they're in. One of them's closer to the sun. Venus, Mercury.
It's fine. It's true.
Something.
I was gonna get into a different topic.
Is Mars the third or the fourth planet?
I don't know.
I think we're the third. Or I meant Earth. It's the third or the fourth planet.
That's crazy. You spoke on Elon Musk, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is. You was done with that topic?
Because like, are there going to be wars again once we get onto Mars? Or are we just going to revert back to,
I think it'll just be all under one. It'll all be... Because you got to think, there won't be really weapons. I don't think there will be weapons.
You don't think they're going to go to Mars and not bring a gun?
Well, the elite will.
The
people who are like... the security, I guess, for the new
Do you think a gun would work in space?
I don't know.
Because guns work off gunpowder, right?
Yeah.
And you ignite the gunpowder with like an ignition, so some kind of fire source. But to have fire, you have to have oxygen.
Yeah. Then maybe not.
Maybe not. I'm thinking that, in those casings, there's some kind of oxygen in there. So if the striker hits the primer sets off, it would have enough oxygen in there to light the gunpowder.
Yeah.
Send the bullet flying. I'm thinking of something like weird. If you shot a bullet into space, how far would it go?
Probably up. It wouldn't go anywhere.
Well, you don't have to shoot it up in space. There's no up or down in space.
It'll float is what I'm saying.
Like it'll just keep going. Like forever on time? I think
it'll just float. It wouldn't go anywhere.
Just think if you go out into space and you dump a mag. 30 bullets. Out somewhere, bro. Are you raining down on some planet a couple billion light years away from here?
Probably.
Like, forever from now? Or will those bullets ever land? Or will they get into a gravity rotation of a planet and just start circling it? Space is massive. But... I think if we made it to Mars and, governments start making it there, there'd be wars over territory again. I think it'd be like, look, especially if we find a resource that we can use on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's going to want to pay for that because you know how expensive that would be. It's expensive to get there. Space travel is not cheap. So to transport stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, other countries and other people would cause wars over territory because they would want resources.
That's just how it is true. I told, like we were saying, it would revert back to years
instinctually.
Like it would revert back years before. It might
wars,
be world wars again. Yeah. Like,
would we keep the name Mars? I think we'd have to.
Mars, Earth, Mars. I don't know, but that's crazy. We were speaking Mars. On Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you a story about a guy. He was richer than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos put together.
Mm-hmm. What? How?
Yes. So this is the richest man that ever lived. His name was MUSA.
Okay.
He was a black king. Bro, he had the largest empire in African history, right? So it's a story where this man traveled the desert with 60,000 people, and each of his llamas, no, not llamas, what are those things called with the humps? Camels. Each of his camels had, I believe, $6 million of jewelry on it, and he was dripped down in gold to, like, bro, gold.
Yeah.
Like, he used to give out gold to the homeless people, bro. He had so much gold that it became like worthless.
Yeah, like he'd wipe his ass
years,
with a gold brick.
Literally, he had so much. Dude, I think he had $400 billion.
Damn.
Like in revenue, like
just in wealth.
Worth. What is it? Net worth. Like $400 billion, bro. More than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk put together.
Yeah.
That is insane.
But he was a king of a
African empire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
there's a lot of gold in Africa?
It's probably different areas maybe.
I bet there's a lot of resources, but cuz I feel like I've heard something about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like Africans are the rich in Africa, bro, are richer than like people in the United States for sure. Like, it's a wealthy place. But the poor is the poorest of the poor. You get what I'm saying? Like. So
the rich are greedy.
If you look at it like that, I guess so. In a sense, I don't necessarily know much about Africa, but from what I've done research on, possibly. Maybe
it's just that there's not like. Where is there for the rich to spend their wealth to kind of make almost a trickle down? You know, the trickle down effect.
See, my thing is, we was talking about this the other day. I was talking about this with somebody else, and they were saying, well, not this specific topic, but they was saying like, why don't the rich give their money back to the poor? And I was like, that'll ruin the economy. Like, you don't realize if there was no poor people, there'd be no structure to like wealth. Like,
yeah, for like every $1 they would give to somebody away, it'd technically be like giving $2. Because now you're spreading that wealth around, and the more the more amount of people that have money, the less valuable that money is.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's inflation.
Like, things would skyrocket, the price of things. The dollar would go to like roughly nothing. But
that's inflation.
I still find that so strange, bro. They don't speak on it in any history books, bro. I feel like a lot of black culture has been washed away.
Really?
Yes. I feel like that is something that society does.
You got an example of something?
Like a lot of inventions that black people created and white people took the, what is it called? The credibility for it. Like the phone, the telephone itself, it was created by a black man, but I believe Alexander Graham Bell
Yeah.
took the invention from his slave, I believe, or took the invention from a black man. There's a lot of inventions from the past that were taken from black people.
How do you think that would change where we are now?
You mean if the world knew?
Yeah, like let's say Alexander Graham Bell didn't make the phone, but whoever the black guy was or black woman was.
I don't think it would necessarily change anything. I think it would give black people more of a negotiating branch to have a high. Cause you gotta think, bro. Like, okay, with Jewish people, they got paid for the Holocaust. Black people never got anything for slavery. So I feel like it would give them a higher stance with the world. Like, we still go through racism and stuff. Like, bro, I don't know. I just find that real strange that it's still a thing. Like,
yeah,
we're in 2023 and we still see like all of that discriminatory type issues, and I don't know.
I feel like it's a power hunger like issue. Because if you think about the people that are racist, they see themselves as above everybody else. You know?
Yeah.
Like, to be racist, you have to see yourself above another culture or another race.
But that's what I was gonna say.
You have to see yourself as better.
It's like a bargain. It would give us more of a. It would make us more. It seem, even though we are, but it would just like appear as more to the world, like that we're more necessary than you think. Like, oh, black person created this. Even though, bro, literally, if you look it up, bro, it's so many inventions that nobody know black people created. Did you know that a black person created the phone? Yeah, see, like, it's just like, I don't know. It's a lot of history behind it, and I don't want to get too much into whole race politics, because I'm gonna have a bunch of people talking about, oh, he doesn't like white people. No, my friend is white. Like, like literally, like I literally have some of my best friends are white, but like
I think a lot of like racist people also don't have experience around
black people. Well,
not even just black people, but just other cultures and races.
Or they might have the experiences that they do have are bad. Yeah. It's possible, but the thing is, sometimes people are down and they have to come up. Like, it's just like you have to think, like, that's not everybody.
Like, I've had one instance where I've been called a cracker before.
Yeah.
I honestly laughed at it.
Yeah.
I was driving, and so, bro, I'm not racist at all.
Yeah.
I love my black friends. I got a bunch of them, and honestly, I have so much fun with them all the time.
For sure.
And my one boy, dude, he's so smart. Like, I haven't talked to him in forever because he's been doing his own thing, and I keep trying to reach out to him and talk to him, but he's been busy. But he's honestly so smart. So, and it's not like my other friends are dumber than me. My one boy, Josh, dude, if we had him on the podcast, I could let him talk for an hour because he has so many ideas and so many things you want to talk about. Like,
we got to bring El Lapo on. Oh my God.
Honestly.
No, it'll be just like a funny factor, bro. It would just be a funny thing, you know? Just for comedy relief.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, just for comedy relief, bro. But go ahead.
Oh man.
Let me hit that for real though. Like.
Yeah, but I was sitting at a stop sign, and I think I was at a gas station. So you know gas stations, you know, there's no lines. There's no specific way you drive. And so I was kind of sitting in the middle of the road, and this car comes around, and I don't remember if they stopped or what they were doing, but I kind of just waved for them to go ahead and go. You know, like, I'm not completely in their way. They had plenty of space to get by. But I don't know if they took it the wrong way. The dude that was driving seemed chill about it. You know, he kept driving, did his thing. But the person in the passenger seat, she was not happy, dog.
She was heated.
She was heated about something. I don't know if she's having a bad day or what. But I had my windows down, just listening to my music like I do. And she opened up the door and yelled at me. Just for like, I don't know why. And so I just started laughing, dog. Because I thought it was hilarious. That was the only experience that I've had that's been like negative with other races. Every other person that I've met of any other race, Like,
I've had negative experiences with every race.
Really?
Like, not every race in the world, obviously, but like every race, bro. So it's just like I've never had a racist. I don't think I've ever had a racist problem. Like anybody's ever been racist against me. Have I? Like, no, never. Not that I recall. But I just had. It's just like people are just people, and you gotta, like, I know racist black people. Like, bro, I know so many racist black people, but they're older, you know what I mean? Like, they have a certain
they've had experiences that, you know.
Their probably parents were racist. They're old. So it's like, I get it. You had, like, those things right there, like, think about it, bro. If let's say hypothetically you were black and you were born into slavery and you were a slave your whole life, or you know, like, your parents were slaves, that'll be on your heart for the rest of your life. And that comes with forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I want to get onto the topic of forgiveness for sure. And we can get on the slavery thing too. But how do you think a person begins to forgive? Something so detrimental, though. Like, yeah, it's hard. It's in your basis.
Yeah.
Like, right now, what if somebody... I know this is a stretch, but, like, let's say hypothetically somebody told you right now you got to live a complete different way than you've been living your whole life. Like, you've thought, oh, the sky was blue, and then they'd be like, nah, the sky's purple, bro. You got to start thinking that for the rest of your life. Like, it'll be hard to be like, okay, that's purple.
Yeah, that's purple now. No.
Yeah, no, like, I see it as I see it, and that's what it is.
Yeah. And so the thing with forgiveness is you won't ever forget it, though.
Exactly.
You may not even trust those people again. It's all back to, like, just, I don't know, because you would have to know the person would be sincere to forgive them about something. And,
I just thought of something. Go ahead, keep going.
And man, for something that detrimental, I mean, I wouldn't even expect someone to forgive me over it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's say I was a slave owner. I wouldn't expect my slaves to forgive me if I treated them badly. Yeah. You know? It's just...
I'm going to tell you a story, and this was about slavery. About the worst man to ever exist. He's not, obviously, the worst man to ever exist, but... I feel like he's one of the worst people to ever exist. Yeah. This man traveled the world looking for a cannibalist culture that eat humans. He found one. I wish I knew his name. I could not remember his name for the life of me. These people be having weird names. He traveled the world to find a cannibal culture. He found one. He brought a slave girl, a young girl, like in her like 10, 12, 13, somewhere around there. He brought her to them. He bought her out of slavery, brought her to them, and proceeded to watch them eat her. And painted the encounter of them eating her. Yeah. Like, that is the wildest thing I've ever heard in my life. So I feel like he's the worst human being I've ever heard of. Like,
bro, but you know, things like that happen today.
That's crazy, bro.
Like, we can get into, like, human trafficking in a way. That stuff still goes on today.
We'll get into that another time.
I don't even know if we should get into
it. How much
We're
time?
At an hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, because I got to use the bathroom, man. We going to end it right there.
You want to end it here?
Yeah, unless you got something else you want to say.
I mean, no, I kind of feel like we was running it down. Like, we had hit a peak and started running down. I feel like this one we actually did pretty good.
We did perfect. I ain't going to lie.
I think we killed this one, bro. Cause
I think, bro, it's just gonna come with comfortability. I keep saying it. I can't stress it enough, bro. This was a good one. We gotta film an intro, but I'm gonna end it right there. We're gonna end it right there. Appreciate y'all for coming in, tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it out to your friends. We're trying to grow big to a big channel again.
If you got things you want to hear us talk about, put it in comments. Let us know. Like, we'll do some research, look into some things. If there's other things that you heard us talk about today, but you had an idea, drop that idea in there. I mean, we're still small enough. We'll look at comments. We'll interact with y'all. We'll do all those kinds of things, man. Like,
for sure. What's your YouTube? Cause you can comment and like talk to them as well.
My YouTube is like a personal one.
Oh, okay.
So I want to put it out there. I don't have anything like for creating content.
Okay. Now I was saying, so just in case like you comment to them in the chat, like.
That's true.
But it's cool. It's cool.
I'll take notes and write it back to you
for sure.
Unless you do that. But yeah, man.
All right, man. Thank y'all for coming through. That's the end.
Y'all have a good one. Peace.